days before I started my full-time job, I got diagnosed with ADHD. This is a video that I've been planning to do even before I got diagnosed, because I looked up the symptoms. I have also friends that told me that I might have ADHD, and I could relate to a lot of the ADHD people. I went through Right to Choose, which is like a private but free way of getting diagnosed. They do the assessment and all of that stuff, and you get to basically skip the queues. So if you think you might be neurospicy, neurodivergent, go call your GP and say that you might have ADHD or autism, and you want to go through the Right to Choose path, because that's how I got mine. I called my GP in December, then got assessed in February, and I literally got diagnosed there and then that I've got ADHD. It's combined ADHD. When they explained this condition to me, it really just clicked. It made sense. My experiences, how I was as a kid, how just my development overall, it really made sense, because I constantly felt behind. Every year I just never stuck to one thing. Like career-wise, I just did not know what I wanted to do. I struggled to just finish tasks, even like exams and stuff. Like it really just, I can't finish it. Sometimes I just give up halfway through, and yeah, that I'll try and finish as much as I can. But going through school without any neurodivergent support was really, I'd say, humbling, because I didn't realize how much of a mask I put on to survive school. Because when I went to uni, I then crumbled. My life just went downhill. Yeah, I practically was struggling with just like COVID, online lessons. I did not pick up any information. My assignments were half done and I submitted them anyways. I barely scraped the pass mark, and I just lost the interest in the degree overall. It wasn't interesting enough for me to study, and I do stuff like content, I do stuff like makeup and like fashion, just like all the creative things, hyper focus on all of these things and genuinely enjoy it from the bottom of my heart. Into subjects that I did in sixth form, my uni degree, I did not lock in. The only time I locked in was probably for GCSE DT. That's like the only subject that I got an A on as well. I'm seeing things in a different perspective of my symptoms and whether they're playing up and all of that stuff, interrupting people before people finish their sentences, finishing people's sentences. Bearing in mind, I do that at work. I do that to anyone, parents, like pretty much everyone I know. I try and mentally tell myself it's not your time to talk yet. Changes I'm doing now is to have like side quests on the days off, because this whole routine of working full time, eating, going to sleep, waking up, preparing yourself for work, mentally preparing yourself for work, is actually a struggle to get out of bed sometimes. And the executive dysfunction, can we please talk about executive dysfunction? It is exhausting, mentally exhausting, not physically. Well, it is physically exhausting, because your body, your heart wants to go and do all these errands that you need to run, all the tasks that you need to do and all of that stuff. Your brain is going, go, 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 do this, go. Like, what are you doing? And for your body to just freeze and lie there is so exhausting. And hyperfixations on food, being obsessed, like having phases, just so many other things. But I've started taking supplements, and a few of the supplements that might help with ADHD Obviously, it differs and it varies from person to person, but because I'm on the waiting list for medication and they said it's going to take about a year, so I decided to get some supplements, and these are the few supplements that I take. So I take vitamin D, especially during the winter season. It kind of helps me get out of the brain fog and the winter gloominess. Magnesium just helps with women's health overall as well, but also contributes and helps with ADHD as well, and lion's mane. So those are the 3 supplements I take. Being a neurodivergent in a brown household is not that common of a topic. Like, it's not widely spoken about. I feel like parents see this as like a whole disability or disease. They just kind of choose not to deal with it. They'll be like, oh, you don't have that. Adilla mundamilla. Tami kumnago illam seriyadam. I'm personally not religious. I'm more spiritual, but I'm not religious. So, though I am a Hindu, I'm personally, on a personal level, I'm not religious. And the medication I'm on is called methyladefine, something like that. I'll put the name here. I don't know if it's going to work, but yeah. I thought I might give medication a try. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, I might just leave it and just raw dog life with ADHD. I think an ADHD thing is listening to like hip hop or like a very hype music like EDM, drum and bass, whilst studying for exams was me during school. Everyone else was listening to lo-fi and the lo-fi study music. I mean, I've tried all of that, but nothing really keeps me going unless I'm like really stimulated and I really fuck with the music. So artists like Kendrick Lamar, BTS, I don't know, like so many artists. Like my playlist is like 4 days long. Is probably a week long because I've saved up all the songs for the past like 6 years into one playlist. Anything really upbeat, and I get the task done or I get the revision done and everything just goes in my brain. Like in class we'd have our like blazers, right? And then we would like feed the earphone wire, because we had the wired earphones back in the day. So we would feed the earphone wire through the sleeve and then just like kind of like rest our chin whilst writing the exam, listening to music, and mine would be like do do do. The whole class would hear my music over theirs, and I'll revise at home and things would just soak up into my brain. Whereas if it's silent, lo-fi music, like I just can't do it. Yeah, that was like a funny experience. But I don't know if many people had that actually. I don't know if many people can relate. I'd say it was like the most highest of highs and lowest of lows, but it was more lows than highs. There wasn't that many highs. This is just like a random video about ADHD. I might help a few of you out there that are not aware of the right to choose pathway, because you'll be waiting for years through the NHS. So if you want to skip the queue, try and get to the front of the line a little bit quicker, ask your GP for right to choose if you want to get assessed. You don't have to put yourself down about it if you do get diagnosed. Brain's wired a little bit differently and the world is built for a neurotypical individual. If you don't feel like you work in the system, you're not alone. You're not alone. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in my next video.